So let's begin on our backs. And the legs can be bent or straight. You can maybe rest the knees together or open them wide, however you like. Let's start with a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhaling out of the mouth, feeling the back body dropping into the ground. And then just deep, slow breaths. Feeling the ribs expand. Letting the shoulders relax as you exhale. Feeling the whole torso breathing. Maybe even the whole body. Just feeling how that inhale kind of wakes up every cell. That exhale releases every ounce of you into deeper relaxation. Creating an even inhale and exhale. Taking in all the air that you can and letting go of all the air that you can. And then tuck your tailbone under so it feels like your lower back is really flattened into the ground. And then lift the feet to the height of the knees. See how the lower back is still nice and flat on the ground. And as we lower 1 foot at a time, we're going to work to keep the lower back pressing flat into the ground. It'll want to arch up, so we use our abdominal muscles to push the back into the floor. Lowering 1 foot at a time without bending the knee any more than it's already bent. So the entire lowering comes from the hip flexor. And see if you can coordinate the movement with the breath. I'm not going to tell you how, just listen to your own body. And it's a slow movement. Really gives you the chance to work at pressing the back into the ground as you lower. And don't let the knees come in closer than straight up above the hips. Soon as that happens, then the abs get to stop engaging. So just the neutral position is already work. So we don't want to come in here and relax those abs. Keep them working the whole time. Let's do 2 more on each side. And then when you're done, hug the knees into the chest. Notice how that automatically allows those abdominal muscles to relax. And then come back to the starting position, but this time you can let your feet hang down. So the knees are over the hips, but the knees bend more deeply. And then just lower the feet to the ground and lift them up again. And then the same thing, keeping the tailbone tucked under so the back is flat. See if you can feel different muscles being used here. So if you're still trying to keep the back flat on the ground, you should still feel the lower abdominals engaging, but maybe see if the muscles a bit higher up are also firing as you lower both feet. And then one more. And hug the knees in. Good. See if you want to rock a little bit from side to side, if that feels good. Okay. And then we'll work these side muscles, these obliques. So you can keep the knees bent in and clasp your hands behind the back of your head. And then we'll start without engaging the upper body, just the lower body at first. Just straighten one leg and then bring it in. And then straighten the other leg and then bring it in. Good. Just one more on each side. And then we'll add the upper body. Good. So when you straighten the left leg, bring the left elbow to the right knee, and then come back to center. And if you can avoid lowering your head down, go ahead and switch. Switch. So this is a slow version. I know a lot of you have done this before, super fast. We're intentionally going slow. Sometimes slower is harder. I like to inhale as I straighten my leg and exhale as I bring it in. Let's see what's going to work for you. One more on each side. Excellent. Hug the knees in. Maybe massage the back a little bit on the ground. Beautiful. And then let's just circle the body around, the knees around a little bit, just giving the back that kind of massage. So moving the knees as one unit in circles, and then the other way. And back to center, and then moving the knees away from each other so they're mirroring each other and rolling them around in circles. And the other way. And then let the knees fall open. Let the hands rest heavily on the insides of the legs, or if you prefer to support from the outside, whatever's going to allow those legs to release more. And maybe closing the eyes and reconnecting with a slow, deep breath. Letting go of the weight of the legs. And then bring the soles of the feet together. Wrap your hands around the outsides of the feet and rock yourself up. Coming to balance on your sit bones. Holding the feet. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let the knees fall toward the ground. Lift through the chest. Breathe. And then release the feet down. Cross the left hand over to the right ankle. And then start to bend down to the left and reach the right arm up, over. Looking up, breathing deep. Maybe that left elbow makes contact with your leg somewhere, and you can push into it for leverage to turn open a little more. Good. And come up and release down, crossing the right hand to the left ankle. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, sink it over to the right. Turn your head up to the left. And rotate your ribs. It's like you're trying to roll your belly to the left. And inhale up. Exhale down. And cross the ankles and flip over. Bring the hands a hand's length in front of the shoulders. Knees hip width apart. And we'll start with a regular cow pose for the inhale. And then exhale, curl the toes, take downward dog. Good, now you can continue like that, going into cow and downward dog. Or if you'd rather just do cow and cat, curling your spine, that's fine. Then you can move your hands closer. Or if you want to work harder, you go downward dog on the exhale, flip over to the tops of your feet and curl up on the inhale, upward dog, and go back and forth. Finding whichever movement is going to suit you. It's all about moving the spine, so it doesn't matter. Just see how much effort you want to exert. One more round. And then hold downward dog or come into downward dog if you're not doing that version. Spread the fingers and really press forward through the fingers. Press back through the thighs, down through the heels. Roll the elbows down. Sink the chest. Relax the head. And then stream the breath long through the spine. See if you can feel like you're making more space between each vertebra and sending the hips back further because of how long your spine has grown on the inhale. And then take that down into the heels on the exhale. On your next inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, drop the hips and bring the knee to the elbow. And then inhale, lift it up. And then drop the hips, bring the knee across to the left elbow. Keep going. See if you can really touch the elbow, even when you do the cross. Inhale as the arm goes up, as the leg goes up. Exhale as the hips lower. Good. Now, on your next exhale, look forward and step the foot up between the hands. Lift the torso. Bend deeply into that front knee. Sink the hips and press that left thigh up and back, pressing back through the heel. And press down into the right thigh with the right hand and take the left arm up and then reach across to the right. Sink the hips. Start to turn the torso to the right. Hook the elbow over. Right hand on top of left. Inhale, press back through the left heel and lengthen out through your collarbones so that you're stretching the body long and straight. And then exhale, press the right hand down into the left hand, moving both hands toward the center of your chest, looking behind you. And then breathing and filling the body. Exhale, turning the body. Good. Keep your hands at your chest. Come back to the front. Sink deeper. Bring the hands down. Step the foot back. Good. And then inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, leg up. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Continue like that. Coordinate with your breath. Next time you exhale, step the foot up between the hands. And then lift the torso. Sink the hips. Good. So we really want that back leg to be straight. So lift the thigh. Press the heel back. Left hand down on the left leg. Right arm up and over. Really want you to feel that right heel pressing back to help continue that stretch from the fingertips all the way down the right side of the body, all the way to the foot. And then breathe deeply and feel the breath stretching open this whole right side. Good. Start to turn the belly to the left. Hook the elbow over the thigh. Bring the left hand on top. And then inhale and lengthen. Feel the ribs moving up away from the hips. Good. Exhale, press left hand into right. Both hands toward the heart center, rotating. Come back to center, keeping your hands at your heart center. Bring the hands down. Step back into downward dog. Fold your upper body over your legs. And then lower the hips. And then roll onto the outer left foot. You can leave your right foot on the ground. If you're able to stack it on top of your left foot, go ahead and do that. And let's take the left arm up. Maybe turn your gaze up to your left thumb. Open the body. Feel the spaciousness as you reach open to the sky. Feel the breath, filling all that space. Good. Now step the left foot behind the right foot. Drop the left hand back and roll your chest up. All this can be done, by the way, modified with that right knee on the ground, if that's going to work better for you. And then flip it all the way over, come into plank. Hold plank. Lift the belly up to support the back. And then we'll roll over to the outside of the left foot, either stacking the right foot or not, either leaving the knee off the ground or bringing it to the ground, and then taking the right arm up. Really feel that spaciousness, spreading wide like eagle's wings across from hand to hand. Breathing deep. Sometimes when the poses that require us to work, instead of fueling that work with the oxygen that we need, we get really short and shallow in our breath. So see if you can deepen the breath, particularly when you need it most in these more challenging asanas. Okay, step the right foot behind the left. Roll your chest up. Send your arm back. Breathe. And flip back around to plank. Bring the knees down. And let's take some child's pose. Feel the arms melting over the legs. The shoulders relaxing toward the ground. Feel the breath in the back body. And then let's come back up onto hands and knees. Bring the knees behind the hips and the hands in front of the shoulders. We're going to bend the elbows, but not let them go out to the side. They're going to stay in line with the shoulders and the wrists. We're going to drop the hips and lower down, and then push up and back. And hips down and bend. Good. Keep your elbows close to your side. So it's not like a push-up where the elbows go wide. It's totally different muscle set. Now, if you're feeling strong enough and you want to do this instead from a plank with the knees off the ground, and just come up and back into downward dog, and then plank, chaturanga. But we're doing these just to kind of build the muscles that allow the chaturanga, being on the knees, kind of the same thing, just a little easier. Good. So I see some elbows going out to the side, and I really want to impress upon you that this is a really tucked in elbows. Like literally my elbows are touching my side ribs as I go down. Good. And then let's all end in our mecha pose. Sitting back on the heels, arms out. Sending the breath into those back ribs. And then let's just tuck the hands under. So we're bending at the wrists with the palms facing up. And then again, bring the elbows close in by your side here. And if your hands want to stretch more, just start to slide them forward toward the knees, but not to the point where the back side of the hand lifts up at all. And keep the elbows close by your side. Good. And release the hands. Lift yourself up. Let's shake the hands out a little bit. And then curl the toes under. Lift the knees. And then slowly roll yourself up to standing. Feet are hip width apart. So we're going to move the spine. I'm going to invite you to go quickly, but if you're needing to go more slowly, that's fine. We're going to bring the arms up with the palms facing forward and send the head back and the chest up. And then we're going to exhale and we're going to hinge forward. And if possible, you're doing it rapidly. Your breath is rapid. And most important is to coordinate the breathing with the movement. So as fast as you can without losing the coordination, without losing the breath. Keep going. Last one. And come to standing with your arms by your side. Close your eyes. Deliberately slow your breath back down. Breathing from belly to chest. Breathing out from chest to belly. So now that we have the breath nice and slow, we're going to pick up the pace again. Stepping the legs wide. Bend the knees. Arms in cactus arms out to the side and then bend in a right angle. Sink as low as you can here. And then with a rapid breath, we exhale, side, inhale, center, exhale, side. Look all the way over your shoulder. Exhale each time you twist. Inhale through center. Inhale, step center, bring the arms up, hold the breath, Take steeple mudra with your hands, index fingers extending, the rest of the fingers interlaced. Holding the breath, lift up from the base of the spine, lift up from the belly, lift up from the throat, dropping the chin in slightly. Press the eyes up, the tongue up. Holding, holding, holding as long as you can. When you need to exhale, just release down. And step the feet a little wider apart. Slight bend in the knees. Inhale, extend the arms out. Hold the breath. Make fists and pump the hands, holding the breath. When you need to exhale, just stop the pumping and let the arms rest by your side and take some slow, deep breaths. Just feeling the body, feeling the energy, feeling the sensations. Okay, now we're gonna do like a little walk on the moon, maybe gazing at a spot in front of you. We're gonna lift the right leg and the left hand, flexing the foot and then slowly pressing down, and then switch. When you lower, imagine that your foot is pushing something down into the ground. Also your hand pushing something. Let's do one more on each side. Close the eyes. Just feel the energy in your body. Okay, now we're going to pick up the pace again. We're going to do a cross crawl. So we're going to lift the right knee and we're going to bring the left arm to the right knee. Try to touch the elbow. So lifting high enough and then crossing. Whatever you're doing with your breath, just do it deliberately and knowingly. Don't forget the breath. And last one, and come to standing. Slow the breath down. And step the legs wide apart again. This time, make sure the heels are lined up with the baby toes, so the feet are parallel to each other, parallel to your mat. And then we'll clasp the hands behind the back. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, take a nice deep breath in across the chest. And then exhale and fold forward and lift the arms, drop the head. Move the heels of the hands toward each other. Letting those shoulder blades fold in toward the center. Release the hands and hang down over your right leg. Exhale, scoop the belly in and release the weight of the torso over the leg. Try to keep the legs straight. Exaggerate the exhale. Okay. And then we'll bring that left hand either close to the foot, or if you're not touching the ground, maybe to the outside of that right shin. And bring the right hand onto the right hip. And then try to lift your chest as high as it'll go, imagining that your torso is parallel to the ground. And then inhale and lengthen by moving your chest away from your hip. And then exhale and turn the belly to the right. Take your gaze up. Take your right arm up. Diagonal angular pose. Every exhale, let yourself twist a little more. And release down. Come center. Hang over for a few breaths. Push down into the feet, lift through the thighs. Lift the creases at the tops of the thighs. And then walk the hands over to the left, hanging over the left leg. Drawing the navel in and up, like you're trying to reach the back of the navel to the tailbone. See if the weight of your head can hang more toward the floor. Lengthen the spine even more. Good. Now lift the head and chest. Bring that right hand all the way over toward the left foot or the left leg. And bring the left hand onto the hip. Don't hurry and go into the pose. Just move through it step by step. Lengthening the spine, moving the collarbones away from the hip bones. And then exhale and rotating the ribs up and to the left. Turning your gaze up and then floating the arm up. Good, bring the hand down. Bring the hands back to center. And then we're gonna walk the hands over to the right. Lift the heels and spiral on the toes so that you're now facing the opposite direction. And Your right leg is on top of the left leg. And then lift the left arm, bend the elbow, bring the right hand behind your back, walk that hand up, trying to touch the fingertips to each other. And breathe. And release the hands and fold forward over the knees. Deep breath, spreading wide into the body. Down into the hips. Relaxing on the exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up, lift the body. Exhale, bring the hands down to the left. Lift the hips, and again, lift the heels, walking the hands around and around and around, letting your feet spin on the toes and coming down with the other knee on top. Right arm up and elbow bends. Pat yourself on the back, good job. And left arm behind you, walking the hand up the back toward the other hand. And release the hands and fold forward. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale the arms down. And then release the legs. Shake them out. Moving the feet. Somebody needs to invent a remote control that tilts the screen. Probably exists. Excellent. So now bend the knees. Bring the hands around the knees. We're going to rock on our spines and we're going to come up into a shoulder stand. If shoulder stand is not for you, if your neck doesn't like it, usually if your neck doesn't like it, it's because you're not doing it right. You shouldn't be on your neck in shoulder stand. You should be on your shoulders. But regardless, if your neck doesn't like it, if you don't want to be upside down, if you're pregnant in your second or third trimester, you probably don't want to be upside down. So just see, get enough momentum and then bring your hands to your hips and then bring your feet up and start to walk your hands down. Roll your shoulders under you. And again, if you don't want to be fully upside down, just rest your hips on your palms, rather on your hands with your palms facing down and your legs up so that you still get the circulatory benefit of your feet being up in the air. The full pose is really nice for the thyroid and the pituitary gland and all sorts of hormonal benefits of being in the full pose. And then reach up through the toes. Bring the soles of the feet together and slowly lay yourself down with the palms down and the feet down and the hips on the palm, on the hands. Press into the elbows, lift the chest, drop the head back. Coming into a fish pose. Breathe into your chest. Push into the arms. Best posture for the lungs. And then lift your head, look past your feet, lower down. Release your hands, hug your knees to your chest. Roll your head from side to side. Maybe let your body move with the head. And then come center. Release the feet. Lift and tuck the tailbone. Release the legs. Shake the legs out. If you're using an eye pillow, place that on your eyes. And then let the arms come out and rest with the palms facing up. A nice distance away from the body. Tucking the shoulder blades under you. Then take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Sinking into the ground. Inhale nose. Exhale mouth. Releasing the jaw. Inhale nose. Exhale mouth. Releasing the activity of the mind. And then releasing the activity of the breath. The breath, of course, still happening. It's just a passive breath rather than an active breath. Just allow the breath to breathe for you. And notice where you can feel the breath most easily in the body. And rest your awareness there. Feeling the breath. Like you're riding the waves of the breath. You notice that the mind has drifted off away from the breath. Just come back again and again and again. Deeply relaxed. Letting go. Letting go. Letting go. Breathe into your heart. Move the fingers and the toes. Reach the arms overhead. Take a deep breath. Stretch long. Hug the knees to the chest and rock from side to side. Feeling the massage on your back. Come center, rub hand to hand and foot to foot, waking up the energy in the body again. Roll over onto your side. Rest your head on your underside arm. Rest your body on the ground. Rest your awareness in whatever's here right now. Take in the results of your practice. When you're ready, slowly lift yourself up. Let your head come up last. Come into any comfortable seated position. Letting the sit bones sink down. Crown of the head lift tall. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Inhale the heart up to the hands. Exhale, shoulders relax. Inhale deeply, breathing in from bottom to top. Take it all in. And let it all go. Drop the chin to the chest. Namaste.